So I wanted to do a quick little video regarding different aspects of what I do for self-care. I know I've done it before, but one thing that is important for me, I'm a very sensory-based person. And so when I'm in meditation, when I'm thinking about self-care, I like to incorporate the elements. Like I have a plastic container that's filled with sand, which represents earth. I have a fan that blows, which is wind. I have a heating pad that gives me that warmth, which is fire. And one element that I realized that I was missing was water. I had a smaller water feature, but I wanted something where I could really hear water flowing in my my space, particularly when I am in meditation. So I did have, part of self-care for me is doing these projects that helps me when I am doing self-care. So I had already gotten this. It is from Lowe's and was on clearance, but it easily transforms a planter into a fountain. And so I've already set it up, and I'm going to turn over to it. So I already began to set everything up. This is the planter that I purchased, which was also on clearance back when near when the seasons changed. Sorry, but there was this platform here, and the platform is a metal, a black metal crate, and you set your fountain on it. Well, I didn't like seeing that, so I wanted to cover it. And so to do so, I had purchased pea gravel that I got for $1 at Lowe's because the bag was damaged. I have this craft glue that I just have tons of because I do tons of projects, and I have this foam brush. And so what I did is and I almost forgot the most important thing, Gorilla Tape. So I didn't want to glue the pea gravel directly onto the crate, so I used Gorilla Tape, and I used it upside down with the sticky side facing up. And I did that intentionally because it allows me to just easily remove this if I want to change out the pebbles. If you want to use pea gravel but don't like the color, remember that you can spray paint these any color that you want, and you're not having to pay a lot of money. It was easy. One thing I would say about pea gravel, also make sure that you clean this and rinse it off first, because there's a lot of settlement, and that's going to interfere with the glue. And so you want to clean them and dry them before you apply them. And so basically, I just spread them around, but on the edges I was very intentional because I wanted to fill in as much as possible. Now I ran out of my black Gorilla Tape, so I would recommend using black, but I had gray available, and so I just kind of came to terms with that. I was going to have gray tape, which didn't bother me much because it's getting covered up mostly with pebbles. Well, with the pea gravel. Now you don't have to use pea gravel. You can use marbles marbles, or the little packs of stones that you get from Dollar Tree for $1. A couple of packs of those would fill in as well. So now that I have all of this in place, so it's completely covered, I'm not worried about the sides or anything like that. I did this base in particular because I have several large stones that I've collected throughout the years just from walks, and I'm just going to place these around directly on top of the pea gravel. I don't want these I don't want these stones glued down. I just want them to fill in the space and give a little more dimension to what's going on with the fountain. Now, one thing I would say is that in regards to the fountain, when I turned it on, it sounded like someone was peeing. And it was very funny. So I had this placemat, and I just put it inside to help diffuse that. And how I move this around determines, you know, the sound of the water. So that gave me control. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and I am going to fill this up a little bit more. But my room tends to stay very dark. Well, it is dark. I use a lot of mood lighting, and I will post a photo of everything, or a small video, but I'm going to go ahead and plug it up just so you guys can see. And that's my chimes that I'm hitting my head on. And so there we go. Very inexpensive, very large water feature that I now have with my, I can see a little splashes here and there, and I check with my hand to make sure it's not something that's coming out. And if it is, I can just adjust, and you hear that, the change in the water if I move this. And so I'm going to put that back because I don't want it to change. But that is one of my self-care projects that I had on my to-do list. Another thing, if this is splashing a lot, you can always take some of the water out, and it'll decrease that water level, and the splashing will cease as well. I put this guard here. Again, I have things that I keep for a while, but I put a placemat to help to prevent splashing, and fresh flowers that I'm going to allow to dry. So this is the final result. I added some moss to soften up the shield. And you can see the stones and the flowers. I did buy some fake flowers from the store to change those out because I decided I will that'll be easier with the seasons. But this is my new water feature. Alright, you guys. Bye.